Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to the session on grammar, and I would like to tell you that we are starting with a new topic today, and the topic is very much related to all the competitive examinations, especially the armed forces, and the topic is subject verb agreement. I hope if you analyze each rule, you will be able to manage this part. Not only that, but it will also help you in your writing skills. So we'll be beginning the session. And we will have exercises based on subject verb agreement. So Athab Joshi, I think you have joined the session well on time, so which is really praiseworthy. Okay, so we'll begin the session today. Okay, so basically subject verb agreement. Okay, let's see what does it means. The most important rule of the subject verb agreement is that the verb must agree with its subject in person and number, and I think you all are aware of this rule. Let's look at the other part of it. A verb can change depending on whether the subject is in the first person, second person, or third person, depending whether the subject is singular or plural. So to put it simply, if the subject is singular, a singular verb must be there. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. That's what is the essence of this one, rule number 1. We'll look at some of the examples to understand it more clearly. Have a look at this chart. We have persons on my left hand side, first person, second person, third person. Here we have singular, here we have plural. Have a look. I am. So here if you look at, here is the subject I and the verb eat. So it is not eats, it will be wrong with singular person. Similarly, the second person, you, followed by plural verb are, and hence you eat, not eats. Now look at the third person, he, she, it. Okay, so here it is, or he, she, it eats. So you will see that with first person singular, we use the base form of the verb. That's very, very important. Like I ate, I drink, I walk, I speak. With second person, we use you are, and then similarly you eat, you run, you walk, and then comes the last part, he, she, it. We use s to the verb. So that is very, very crucial as far as subject verb agreement is concerned. Look at the plural. We are and we eat, you eat, and they eat. So I'm sure this part or this rule must be absolutely clear to you all. Okay, let's move on. Have a look. This is important. Thus, if the subject is singular and in the first person, the verb must also be of singular number and the first person. Have a look. We'll try to understand. Look at number 1. I play chess. So this is what we have seen in the table that we have had. Okay. I am in Denmark. I have a computer. So subject is singular. See the first person. So here, here, here. Okay. Moving on. If the subject is singular and in the third person, the verb must also be of singular number and the third person. Look at this. Rani plays cricket. Here it is. He is in Denmark. She has a computer. So this is quite easy to understand. Okay. Atharv Joshi, I am very fine. How are you? What about your studies? How is it going? And what about coming and joining us as well? Okay, let's move on. If the subject is plural and in the third person, the verb must also be of plural and the third person. You can see here. They play, they are, they have. I hope this point is absolutely clear to you. Let's move to rule number 2. That is equally important. When the subject of a sentence is composed of two or more singular nouns or pronouns connected by and, we use a plural verb. Very, very important. Raja and his friends jog in the park every evening. So Raja is subject 1. Okay, and then and his friends, this is subject 2. It is joined by and therefore the verb jog, it is here, it is also in the plural form. That is what rule states. Similarly here, the same thing, Venus and Mercury, subject to, joined by and here is the plural verb. So the sentence becomes Venus and Mercury are parts of the solar system. Let's move on. Rule number 3. However, very important, if two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing or to a single idea, we use the singular verb. That's very important. If there are two persons but they refer to the same one, okay? For example, let's understand this one, and this is quite common and we have seen it. Bread and milk is. So here you will see two things or probably two singular nouns. One is bread, other is milk, and both of them, they refer to the same thing. Both of them refer to the same thing, same idea or same thing, and therefore here the verb is singular. Similarly, look at number B, which is very important. The activist and patriot is on a hunger strike. So here the activist and patriot, they are same person, and therefore is very much appropriate in this sentence. Okay, let's look at another point. Note that in such cases the article is used only once before the first noun or pronoun. If we wish to refer to two separate people, we would use the article before each noun and the verb would be plural. Look at this one. The activist and patriot are on a hunger strike. Rice and curry is my favorite of all time. The rice and curry are to be served separately. Okay. Let's move on with rule number 4. To get the subject verb agreement right, a simple rule we can follow is to replace the compound subject with personal pronoun and then make sure the verb agrees with the pronoun. Examples: Raja and his friend jog in the park every morning. So here Raja and his friend, they are plural, so accordingly, hence they jog. So here the verb is plural. Let's look at number B. The activist and patriot is on a hunger strike. The activist and the patriot, he, hence he is. So here the activist and the patriot, they refer to the same person, and therefore here the verb is singular. Now look at number 3rd, what it says. The activist and the patriot are on a hunger strike. The activist and patriot, they are actually plural. Here it is plural in this one, and hence they are. Very, very important thing to understand. I'm sure you are getting it absolutely right. We'll move on. We have one exercise. I want you to take a look at it. Okay. Now, I want you to share the answers of this exercise. At the same time, I'll be looking at the grammar part. Look at exercise number 1. In the following sentences, underline the correct verb. Now we have got 2 options here. Rashi and Preeti are students. Any answer to this one? Okay, so we have 2 subjects here, Rashi and Preeti, joined by and. So naturally the subject will be plural. So Rashi and Preeti are students. 2 different persons. Good evening, Anshuman. You are back now. I want you to share your thoughts. Let's move to number 2. Number 2, have a look. Angry Tom and Naughty Jerry is my favorite cartoon characters. What should come over here? So we'll see here Angry Tom as one subject and Naughty Jerry, this is the second one. So it will be followed by a plural verb. Are my favorite cartoon characters. They both are different characters joined by and. Okay. Let's look at number 3rd. Gopal and I was watching a movie. Again, Gopal and I here were watching a movie. So there are two individuals, there are two subjects. So therefore, the verb must be plural. Let's look at number 4. I want you to share your thoughts with me. The producer and director of the film are also or is also its writer. So here the producer and director refer to the same person. So the verb must be singular only. So here we can use is. That's very, very important to understand. Let's look at the other sentence. The rising and setting of the sun cause day and night. So there are two different things, the rising and setting of the sun. So naturally the subject will be plural. So here cause day and night. They are separate entities. That's what. Okay. Let's look at number 6th one. We'll try to look deeply into the grammar aspect of this as well. Sodium and chlorine are the components of salt. Okay. So again, here sodium is one subject, chlorine is other one. So naturally the subject should be plural, and here we will go with this option number, this one are the components of salt. Let's move on. Number 7th one. My sister and brother also study in this school. My sister and brother. Again, the two subjects. So naturally the verb is going to be plural. So here, study in this school. Moving on, knowledge and wisdom is equally important for success. Knowledge and wisdom. So again the same thing. Knowledge is one entity, wisdom is another one. So are equally important for success. Okay. I hope at least this point must be understood well. The only thing to take care is to take care of one thing. I want to take you to this point. If two singular nouns refer to the same person or thing, to a single idea, we use the singular verb. That is very, very important. Otherwise, two subjects will always take plural noun. Let's move on with the slide even further. This is very, very important, and many questions are asked from this rule. Let's look at them. What do they say? When we use two singular subjects joined by and but preceded by the words each or every, we use the singular verb. So that is very, very important to understand. Every parent and child was present on the sports day. Here was so here we'll see here every, so therefore the verb will be singular. Next one, during summer each day and night is hotter than the previous. Again this one, each means separately. Okay, let's move on. Rule number 6. The words each, every, many a, everyone, everybody, anybody, anyone, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and take a singular verb. So that's very, very important to bear in mind. Okay, everyone knows that story. Someone has worn my shoes, not warm. So that's a very, very important point to bear in mind while solving these questions based on subject verb agreement. Moving on. Number 7. Now there comes the complexity, but it is very, very important to understand the rules. So just now I have told you about the rule with respect to everyone, anybody, someone, somebody. that it will always be followed by a singular verb. Let's move on even further and try to understand. When two singular subjects are joined by or, nor, either or, neither, nor, we use a singular verb. Have a look at sentence number 1 where the examples are given. The thieves took everything. No cupboard or drawer was left untouched. Neither Prerna nor Rohan is willing to take the blame. Here is, and the words that we have, it is neither nor. Both are singular, but remember one thing, we'll move towards the complicated part of neither nor so that you will have an idea as to what we have to do. Rule number 8. Number example C we can have a look at. Either Aftar or Shalini has the book. So this is singular. So we have seen neither nor. Here either or will always be followed by singular verb. Let's move towards the next one. When the nouns or pronouns connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor are of different number, the verb agrees with the subject nearest to it. So that's very important thing. Have a look at the example. Earlier here we had two singular subjects, so naturally the verb was singular. There is no question of verb being plural. But the things to bear in mind that in case if one of the subjects is plural, then what is to be done? In that case the verb agrees with the subject nearest to it. Neither Ashok nor his soldiers were ready to admit defeat. Have a look now. So here Ashok, subject 1. Now this is subject 2. Okay, and here we are using plural verb because we always have to bear in mind that in this case this verb will agree with the nearest subject. Now let's change the scenario with the same example. Neither his soldiers nor Ashok was ready to admit defeat. So you can very well understand here we are using singular verb, and in the previous case we used plural verb. Now look at number C example also. Either he or I am wrong. not I were. But it is better to say either he is wrong or I am. So I hope at least since today is the first session, we'll move towards more complicated issues, keeping in mind the complexity of subject verb agreement. I'm sure you will find the sessions useful. Now comes exercise number 2. I want you to share your thoughts with me. Okay. Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of the verbs in brackets. And we have the verbs given over here. Either the boys or their mother dash care of the garden. And Shuman, I'm waiting for your response with regard to these exercises. So here comes takes. And if you refer to the rules that we have discussed, you will very well understand why is that so. Number next, nobody, me with my homework. What should come? Here is the verb. Okay, sorry, we have to do number 2. Either Deepak or Shefali be going to make the announcement. What should come over here? Be means is, am, are, was, were. So either Deepak or Shefali is going to make the announcement. So I hope either you have understood, either or, neither nor, we discussed it. Let's move towards the next one. Nobody, me with my homework, and the verb is there, help. Nobody here with someone, no one, we have seen we will always use the singular verb. So nobody here helps me with my homework. Moving on. Somebody put the books back on the shelf. Again somebody. Now but this is in interrogative form. So okay, has somebody, not have, because here somebody takes a singular verb, so therefore we'll use singular verb. Has somebody put the books back on the shelf. Now comes the next one. neither the youngsters nor the grown-ups are willing to end the party. Obviously, the plural verb will be there. Now look at number 6. When waiting for a friend, each minute like a day. What? See there? Now comes each. With each, it always takes a singular verb. So feel is the verb there. Feels like. Feels like a day. Now move to number 7 part. After the program, each participant, what should come over there? After the program, each participant, again B, was awarded so after the program, each participant was awarded a certificate. Many a child wants to be like his or her parents. So I hope you have understood some basic concepts related to subject verb agreement. Let me see what do we have even more. Okay, let's move ahead with the slides, and I want you to take a very close look because this is where the questions are asked. Very important one. Have a look at it. When a subject is a collective noun, it may be a group of people, especially the jury members, the council members. Okay. When the subject is a collective noun thought of as one whole, we use a singular verb. So that is very important to understand. And here comes a very important grammar rule. The student council is meeting on Wednesday. Have a look here. The student council. So we are looking at student council as one. Okay. The Indian Army, of course, it's a collective noun, but it refers to as a single unit. So in that case, the verb must be singular. Have a look here. Indian Army is a large force. This is very important. However, now comes the catch. However, if we speak of the individuals that make up the collective noun, the plural verb is used. So here we are looking at the individuals. We are looking at the individuals. We are not looking at the entire collective noun as one unit. In that case, we will use the plural verb. Like when voting for the head boy, the student council were in disagreement. This is very, very important to understand. Now, I hope this point is absolutely clear to you. Now rule number 10. When we use expressions such as with, together with, including, accompanied by, in addition to, or as well as, it does not change the number of subject. If the subject is singular, the verb is singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb used as plural. Have a look. So here if you look at here, the first subject here, the actor accompanied by his wife, so that is what we are understanding. But here our verb will be in accordance with the first subject. Okay. Now here look at this second one. All of the answers including yours are correct. Here all of the answers. Now here comes, this is the second one, but we have to look at this one. All of the answers are correct. So here comes the plural verb. That's very, very important to understand. Okay. Now moving on, I would like to take you further in this series of subject verb agreement. All right. Let's look at, towards the end of today's session, I'm sure I'll be talking about some complicated cases in the later half. Let's look at rule number 11. When we use nouns which appear plural in form but are singular in meaning, we use the singular verb. For example, the news. So the news, it looks like it's plural, but here comes the singular verb with it. Similarly, civics is often found to be interesting. Similarly, economics. Okay. Some nouns that require singular verbs are civics, mathematics, politics, dollars, measles, and news. And you will find, in most of the examinations, you will find these keywords only. And if you have read them once, you will find it very easy to do. We use singular verb with sums of money or periods of time. That's very, very important. Okay. Like look at this one. I think Some questions were asked in the mock test for RIMC that Defense Officers Academy has conducted recently in mock test 1 and even in mock test 2. So that's comes the rule. 10,000 rupees. It looks like plural. The subject looks like plural, but here comes the catch. We have to use a singular verb with it. Moving on, we are talking about, we have seen the sums of money and we are seeing the periods of time. Let's look at how we are going to do that. 5 years was the time he spent to write his book. Here is was. So that is there. I'm sure you are finding the session useful for your examination. Now comes rule 12, and I think we'll go towards that as well. Now look at another one. Please see this very carefully. Some nouns always take the plural form and need the plural verb. Look at this example. In mock test 2, I must remind you all, these types of questions were asked, and even in the question papers. Look at these examples. Like examples are trousers, spectacles, binoculars, etc. My spectacles are lost. These trousers do not fit here. Here you will find plural verb with it. Let's look at even further. We often make mistakes in subject-verb agreement because we don't recognize the subject correctly. We tend to choose a noun near the verb instead of the correct subject. Let's look at the next examples. So we have, this is very important to understand the subject. You will find different particles, in a sentence, and we get confused. That's where we are talking about. Number of people using cell phones has gone up. The number has gone up, not the cell phones. Have a look at. So here has is talking about this number, not the cell phones. So the number of people using cell phones has gone up. Very important point to be kept in mind. So it would be wrong to say the number of people using cell phones have gone up. So here we are here is the subject, number. It refers to the number. So I think that is enough for you to use your knowledge and skills. So you have to be very judicious while choosing subject, and keeping in mind the essential elements of subject verb agreement. I don't think you will go wrong. In the next session I will look at even the complexity of subject verb agreement, and even if you want some specific questions that you want me to delve deep into it, I'll definitely and surely do that. So I'll take leave for at least a day, and we shall definitely meet in the next session. I hope you will definitely take care. We'll have more exercises later on. I wish to request you all, those who are aspiring to be a part of the Forces Defense Officers Academy, is one of the premier institutes in Dehradun. You can come and avail the opportunity, and next time it's going to be you who will definitely make your mark in the Indian Army. Thank you very much everyone for becoming the part of today's session. It was indeed pleasure to interact, and it has always been a pride moment for me to interact with you. Thank you very much. You can see our numbers behind this. Behind we have a WhatsApp number, then we have the Telegram ID also, so you may always come and join. Thank you all of you.